Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back to our webinar series sponsored by our good friends over at Site. Thank you for joining us today. We'll get to our presentation shortly. Just a couple of housekeeping items. First, recordings from today and the copy of the PDF will be available at ESDAT.org/webinars later in the day. You'll find it there. We finished Envirotech, as you know, last week. If you weren't able to attend but want to purchase the presentations, the recordings, they are available. Same price as if you would have attended, and if the people who attended, they're available for free. So we thank you for that. After today's webinar, we have one more webinar left for this season. We're going to start up again in the fall. So Brian Keating's back with us for a friends, family, children's presentation of Alberta birds. We put together quite the presentation, all my photography and Brian's stories and information about the different birds. So it'll be a good one. And then today's presentation is sponsored by Delta Remediation, so thank you to them. And today, Vincent Lam and Sean Huang from Matador are going to be talking to us about how to manage remote work effectively and reduce costs during critical times. So I'm going to turn it over to them. They're going to speak for 30 to 40 minutes, and then we'll do questions and answers afterwards. So Vincent, I'm just giving you control.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
All right. Next week. Okay, so just waiting for the screen to show up.
Okay, looks good and sounds good. Thank you.
All right, cool. Well, thank you everyone for attending our webinar today. Given the situation recently, a lot of what we used to in terms of how we work together and the location, all these things have changed. We're entering essentially an area of a new norm. So I just want to take the opportunity to introduce some of the ways and platforms that we can leverage to better our work. So today, Sean and I, just a bit of an introduction of ourselves. My name is Vincent. I'm the co-founder and CTO, Chief Technology Officer of Meetador.com. And with me is Sean. Sean, you wanted to do a quick intro?
Yeah, sure. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Like Vincent mentioned, we're really happy to have you here, and we're going to be announcing some new exciting features as well. So I'm the co-founder and head of business development here at Matador. So both Vincent and I were in the tech space for a while, and we have been working on a lot of location-based solutions. So hopefully, through Vincent and I, we can help you essentially benefit a lot of your project management workflow through listening on this webinar, and how to manage remote work and reduce risk essentially during this critical time. So yeah.
Awesome. All right, so let's get started. Just a bit of a background of our company. We started Matador with one vision in mind, is to bring collaboration together in the industry that are generally quite siloed and relying a lot of outdated technologies like spreadsheets and complex information systems. So we created a platform called Meetador.com. It is a new kind of cloud-based platform that combines the data management and visualization in one place, so everyone can access it quickly and easily. We started off with environmental space as our entry point, working with a number of companies in the RegRem space, energy, upstream energy space, and now we're moving into clean tech and also, recently going into the healthcare space as well. So, and I think all of these industries shares a common problem, which is collaboration is quite hard to achieve. It's easy to talk about, but hard to achieve. And with the technology, with the latest technology, and also to some extent the situation with COVID, it actually forces people to have to make some changes to their behavior, which hopefully would be a better step moving forward into the collaborative aspect. So the new norm, as we always talk about, actually amplifies the pain already existed in the past. So, it's all about managing information accurately and timely, especially in the budget of millions or even billions. Working through these information in a spreadsheet and silo system just doesn't cut it. Too many human errors, too many lost information, and too many inefficiency involved there. What kind of information are we talking about? These are some of the things just in the environmental space that we're touching on. The lab data, the surveys, GPS data, images, all these forms, site photos, and of course the communication between parties. All these are very important in every step of the environmental cleanup process. So, and as you can see here, managing all these in one project is already hard enough. And if you are one of the lucky ones that are managing, tens or even hundreds of locations or projects at the same time, it becomes unmanageable. And the reason why we're discussing Meetador is because we created a one-stop shop experience for essentially everyone to be able to work together in the same cloud platform. So Matador, as I said, is a intuitive and integrated dashboard of information for everyone to access. Okay, so the core concept behind it is that we created it in the microservice architecture. For those who know, it's basically mini products working in the background, talking to each other. It's a form of collaboration itself in the technology. Now, we capture all these data, your data, and we actually merge it with our partners' data and any devices, IoT devices that you have. All these data are merged together in a platform that can be easily shared and controlled. And the result is better virtual collaboration, which works great when you're, have a remote. The vast majority of your team is remote and often in the field. And because of the real-time and single source of truth, you are actually reducing your risk in losing information, misinterpreting information, and so on. So as a result, you have less cost overrun for those who are managing the budgets. So overall, the entire team, you'll be able to see operational efficiency as a result. So the end goal here is that we'll ditch the spreadsheets and use it only for reporting purposes. Once you're done, you ditch it, and then you rely on the system to pull your next report, next spreadsheet if you need. Real-time updates, you get notified when important incidents happen or when there's a cost or project run over budget, things like that. Of course, having a clear view on the budget and cost is always important when in the environmental cleanup space. And most importantly, because it's on this cloud, we are hosting it securely and on AWS. For those who know, it's Amazon Web Services. Basically, the governments, the banks are hosting their important information on these type of cloud systems. And we have the ability, because we structure in the back end as microservices, we have the ability to connect to other databases and partners apps, including yours, if you have your own ERP systems, easily connecting to them and to reduce the double entry problem that you have seen in some other applications.
And just to add to what Vincent mentioned, you can think of us as a platform to consolidate all the data that comes in, being able to report back to not just your internal organization, but also to different stakeholders externally, very visually, and allow better coordination. So this is something that we're set onto, and I think Vincent will mention more feature set in the next coming slides. So go ahead, Vince.
Yeah, so to pair with our vision, we have been walking down the path of collaboration from technology, partnership, and even helping our clients and users to be more collaborative. And one of the major initiatives since we began last year is we have been working a lot with partner focus. So essentially, we have talked, when we talk to a lot of our users, they all find the issue of what I call the swivel chair. Like you have one system over here and another system over there, and you have to turn your chair in one place to grab some information, and then turn to another system to grab another information. And sometimes you have to chase down, spreadsheet from either your clients or your consultants. And those kind of experience really adds to the pain here. Now we work with partners trying to create a platform where they can put their best foot in the application to help the user at a collaborative way. So one of the things we want to highlight is the partnership, importance of partnership. So today, Sean and I would like to present 3 new partners that we are working with. And the first one is a lab data management system called ESDAT. Some of you may have already heard about them. They are an Australian company who have been in the space for over 10, 20 years, I believe. They have been building a brand in helping environmental companies and mining companies to manage their lab data. So essentially, they capture the logger data, the lab data, into a very informational system, and then compare it with regulatory standards. So essentially, they have all the regulatory standards that are available right now in Canada and US and major cities, major countries in the world for you to select from. So later on, we can take a look at how that works with Meetador together. But essentially, you can compare, and it will spit out the exceedances for you that you can start generating a report. Now, the nice thing about ESDAT working with Matador is that with Matador, we create a platform for you to have a high-level overview of your portfolio of projects. Now, some of you may be interested in the details, what kind of chemicals is exceeding, parameters are exceeding, and so on. But some of you may just want to know, hey, where are the exceedances accumulating, clustering? That kind of view will be perfect when you're looking at Matador. And then we can dive in when you need to and looking at the chemical parameters. So again, later on, we're going to do a walkthrough on these features. Our next one is Terashift engineering. And Terashift has been renowned in their services around mining and environmental services. But they have also created a very intuitive mapping data system called Terramatta. And with their help, we were able to connect their system and offer comprehensive GIS data via Matador to basically enable smarter decisions. Now, as a standalone system, Matador, Terashift, and ESDAT, these kind of systems have their own value, but it does not complete the picture. But when you are overlaying them together in one place, then all of a sudden you have all the information allowing you to make decisions smartly, including your own information overlaying on top of it. So some of the info that Terashift is providing our users are, disposition locations, geological deposit information, the typical wells, pipelines, and even other environmental features are also available. And finally, we're working with Delta Remediation on a very innovative solution that they have created one of the first kind, ScreenLogic's build kits, which helps environmental assessment of soil samples real time. So when people are in the field, they have you can see here roughly, there's a comparison chart here. There's some chemicals that you can mix with the soil, and then it will in minutes, it will turn into a certain grade of colors. And through this comparison chart, you can kind of determine, what kind of material or exceedances, the area have, rather than waiting for having to send the lab sample, the sample back to the lab and wait for days to come back. And again, how does Meetador comes in play here is, we have created a process where, users can actually scan barcodes and it will automatically log the information, compared information into Meetador. So a similar concept with ESDAT, the information are displayed at high level on the map, and you can use that information to determine how to where to structure your remediation plan, or dive in and look at the information for reporting purposes. So Rob and I and us are working on connecting the devices and also the system together. But this is something that we have started working on, and if anyone is interested, feel free to reach out. We're happy to do a demo. Now, without further ado, I wanted to switch my screen into my browser. So let me see how I can do that. All right. So, okay. So, some of you may have already seen this at the CRIA. It's the platform Matador. I will go over the high-level information, the walkthrough the product a little more. But I just want to continue on the partnership discussion we had. So basically, what you're looking at is one of the project sites, and I'm opening up the layers panel here. And as you can see, you can import your own layers, including any standard files like KML, shapefile, or even geotiffs of area photos. But we have added the integration with Terramaps and ESDAT integration here. So let's maybe go through the ESDAT integration. So what I'm doing is actually I'm turning on the ESDAT integration. So by the for the users who are who sign up on both Matador and ESDAT software, if you have the sample already living in ESDAT and you wanted to showcase your client or your team, where the boreholes are located and which ones are exceeding, these information are pulled directly from ESDAT. And you can see here if I toggle on and off, because this is a demo site here, the scattering is a little bit far, but basically it gives you an idea of where the boreholes are located, what's their status is. Red means there's an exceedance, green it's okay. If there is an exceedance there, if I click into one of the boreholes, I can actually see the chemical that are exceeding. So some of these layout is we're still working on the prettying up the UI and all these things, but you can get the idea that for if you wanted to find look at what's a quick way to find what chemicals is exceeding the parameters, and you can do that without having to look into all these tables and spreadsheets of chemical data. But if you wanted to look at the information, let's say this one, there's an exceedance, you can always click on the link there, and it will show you a chemical result table with the dates. These are the 8 samples picked on different dates, and then you have these chemicals, and these are the results. And currently it's based on the tier 1 groundwater agricultural fine soil, but you can change the standard. You can see here ESDAT provide a list of a great list of different standards that you can apply, and it's always up to date. And tier 2 in Alberta, and then you have Saskatchewan, and so on. Even they have USA. They have the global standards as well, but I did not turn it on in the demo account here. So basically, that's the power of it. You tie what's typically the information sitting in a spreadsheet or a complex system with a simple view on a map, a visualization with your other information. Now, the other thing I wanted to highlight to you is the Terramaps integration. So Terramaps provides a lot of GIS information. Of course, I cannot show everything here, but just to give you an idea, what are some of these blue dots are water wells, and then the black dots are the oil and gas wells, and then you have pipelines, you have the buffer zones for drone operation, you have the disposition data, deposit information if I turn this into, yeah, this is better. If I scroll around, you'll be able to see, yeah, this position information, the water bodies, and any wildlife features on the map there. So they have done a really good job in capturing the information specifically for the environmental industry. So again, we are enabling, layers of information. We're not trying to, go into the space of data collection at all. And we welcome, we always welcome partners that can contribute to the collaborative side of the industry. So with that, that's kind of the new partnerships and the features that we wanted to show you. But for those who have not seen, Meetador before, let me do a refresh here just to give you a fresh screen. Meetador keeps track of your portfolio from spreadsheet, turns your spreadsheet into a very visual dashboard of projects. So for each of these pins here is actually a location of your project, so a site project, and it shows you, the information, as people are changing these projects, it will be showing up. The activities will be showing up in the activity feed here, where it's similar to the experience of LinkedIn, Facebook, these type of real-time push notification. And if there is anything that you're watching or you wanted to get notified, you will receive email notification as well. And it's highly collaborative, so you can by a click of inviting, you can enter someone's email address, select a role, and then they can join and work with you together. So you can control their permission. If they're outside of the company, you can invite them as collaborators, and they will only see the projects that you're sharing with them. So there's no cross-pollination of information, between your clients or your consultants if you're working with them externally. Now, for each of these dots here, essentially you can just click into it. It'll zoom into that location and give you the summary of information. So this is inside a project and gives you a dashboard of information very quickly. You can see who you're sharing the information with, what kind of information you're capturing, what's the budget and cost, what are some of the outstanding tasks there, and of course, what are the latest activities since the beginning of this, since the beginning of this project. Okay, so right off the bat there, with one click, you can get all the information you needed in a high-level view. Our users usually find this very helpful when they are either at a planning stage, when they're showcasing to their customers or trying to explain the information to their consultants before or during the projects. So when they're in there, one of the key point here is that when you're managing tens or even hundreds of projects, you tend to forget about where you left off, and the information, having information readily like this, it's going to help efficiency a lot. And if you are working with a lot of external parties, especially in the new realm of area-based costing, and these type of new collaborative working culture, then it becomes even more important to have a single source of truth. And this type of platform can allow you to, make drawings on the map, overlay, as you have seen, overlay different kind of information from lab data to the geospatial environmental information on the same place. And you can see on the left here, there's different kind of information that you can start tracking, tasks. You can assign tasks to other people; they will get notified and reminded. And then you can enter budget and create forms, different kinds of forms, and you can generate reports out of those forms. You can also upload files, upload photos, and capture them. And it's also available on mobile as well. That helping the field data collection more seamless in that way. So with the, trying not to take up too much of your time, I don't want to kind of go into too deep of the product walkthrough here, but we do have a free demo and free consultation sessions, coming out from this webinar. I wanted to pass you that link. So let me switch back to the presentation here. Just one final slide I wanted to show is a QR code and also a link that you can come in and book a demo with us. And if you are interested in these type of information system, feel free to talk to me and Sean. And we know you're from this webinar, and we'll be able to provide a special discount for you. Sean, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, sure. And you can also feel free to add me and Vincent on LinkedIn. Just search our name and type in Matador. And yeah, you can connect with us on LinkedIn. And like Vincent mentions, we have special offers for people that are attending this webinar as well. So we just wanted to essentially help people during this time of need to essentially manage their workflow a lot better. Without having to be really financially committed to, the cost of using an ERP, for example. So, yeah, if you have any question, feel free to ask me and Vincent.
Thanks, Vincent and Sean. If anyone has questions, please type them in in your question box, and I'll relay them on. Thanks to Rob Lacey and Delta Remediation for sponsoring today's webinar. Question for you: you said you're looking for, this is from me, for partnerships. What type of partnerships are you looking for?
Yeah, that's a really good question. We're looking for both business partnership and technology partnership. So to be more specific, technology-wise, we're looking for information, data, services like drone services, aerial photo services, typical type of services that consultants and our professionals in the field will be going after. So if you see there's a potential synergy in terms of visualizing your work or your product on our map, feel free to reach out. We're happy to talk about it. And from a business side, we're always constantly looking to partner up with consultants and also servicing company to help them more collaborative and find ways to work, basically, collaborate. So that's more business is, of course, is more case by case basis. So if you see any synergy in terms of the vision vision of a collaboration in the industry, feel free to reach out. We're happy to talk to you as well.
Okay. Somebody must have a question. Please feel free to ask while we have these gentlemen with us. We greatly appreciate it. If not, you can reach out to them at Vincent and Sean on LinkedIn, as they said. You can contact me and I'll get you their contact info. Reminder that the presentation and recording of this will be available online later today, and their contact information is in there. So, gentlemen, it doesn't look like we have any questions for you. So sorry about that. Sometimes that's what things are, but appreciate that. Reminder to everyone that there's one more webinar for this season. We'll start them up again in the fall, and that's next week with Brian Keating. So please sign up. Thank you again to Matador. Thanks again to Delta Remediation, and thanks to our overall series sponsor site. Oh, I have a question. What about integrating older reports?
That's a really good question. I'm very interested in doing that. Yeah, we'd love to talk to you about it.
Okay. So yeah, that person can reach out to Vincent. Robert, if you can reach out to Vincent, they'd be happy to talk to you about older reports. So yeah, once again, everyone, thank you. Thank you so much. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Thank you so much, Joe.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.